Hi there. My name is Jack Wallen, and today I want to scare you. I know it's not my usual modus operandi, but I kind of think it's necessary at this point. There are just some things you need to hear. Now, you could tell by the way I use my walk. No, that's not it. You could tell how I dress that I'm not a big fan of Trump or Vance or Musk or the whole lot of them. What they are doing to the country is not only dangerous, but it threatens to upend democracy and send us down a dark spiral that I don't know if we can recover from. That's not what I'm going to scare you with. The other day, I was reading about the whole issue with El Salvador and Trump pretty much sending dissenters to that prison, paying for that prison to hold those prisoners with our tax dollars. So the other day, I wrote out all the checks for my taxes because I pay quarterlies and sealed them up, put them in the mailbox, knowing that my taxes could very well go into the pockets of those running an El Salvador prison. El Salvadorian prison? Whatever. Again, that's not what I'm scaring you with. Here's the deal. After that happened, my mind just started doing its thing. Synapses were firing like crazy, and you know how it is. And I started thinking about the whole situation, and something occurred to me. And it scared me. What was that something? Here it is. Okay, so you know that Elon Musk has a company that's dedicated solely to AI, right? Okay. He also owns X, formerly Twitter, and he's ruined. Somebody's at the door, and he's ruined that platform. And that's when my mind wrapped around an idea. Think about this. Are you ready for it? Imagine if Musk used his AI company to develop a system that would scrape the whole of social media, looking for people who are against the Fourth Reich, which I call the Trump regime. So they do that. They have their AI bots scrape all that information. And they find all these people who have said things like fuck Trump on their social media accounts or anything of that nature. Anything speaking out against Trump. So now Musk has all this data, all these names of people who have spoken out against what Trump is doing or what Musk is doing. He hands it over to Trump. Trump then sends his watchdogs out for all of those people on the list. And they all get sent to El Salvador. Now, I know that's extreme, and I know that probably won't happen, but the very fact that I thought about it should scare you. The very fact that could very well be the reality that we face should frighten the hell out of you. I shouldn't be thinking about, yes, okay, as a writer, yes, I should be thinking about these things because my mind is always thinking about crazy scenarios because, got to come up with good plots. But that's the kind of plot that should be reserved for fiction not reality. And yet, here we are, facing the idea that American citizens who are exercising their First Amendment rights that are in the Constitution are now in danger. Trump is threatening to pull funding, billions of dollars of funding from Harvard because students are protesting. Peacefully protesting, mind you. We as a country have been free to peacefully protest since the beginning. People protested en masse the Vietnam War. People have protested all sorts of things that went against the Constitution, human rights, fairness, you name it. It's in the Constitution. But guess what? Trump and his cronies don't care. And the very fact that they don't care about the First Amendment tells you that they don't care about the Constitution. Think about that. The president doesn't care about the Constitution. Not a bit. If there were things in the Constitution that protected him, he might care about it. Well, I should say protect him from doing whatever he wants. And you see, the problem is that SCOTUS, in their infinite wisdom, handed him this. They pretty much said, Trump, you can do whatever the hell you want as long as it is a presidential act. And Trump will do anything and say, oh no, it was a presidential act because they're a terrorist. Well, guess what? Guess what? The real terrorist here, I'm not even going to say it because you know what I'm thinking. Domestic terrorism is real. And we are facing it. You know, and there's a part of me that says, no, don't say that. Don't say these things. Don't say these. Don't put these on YouTube, because if you do, someone's going to come after you. I'm afraid. I am afraid. Partially because of who and what I am. But partially because right now the Constitution doesn't matter. It has always mattered. The Constitution, even with its flaws, was brilliant. And yes, it does have flaws. For example, the only requirements for someone to run for president is that they're 35 years old and a citizen of the country. That's a flaw, because we have a felon in the White House. A felon who, in my opinion, should be the one in prison. Not the American citizens who are just exercising their First Amendment rights. But seriously, there are times now when I am utterly and profoundly speechless. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. And people like me, just about anybody who falls under the LGBTQ flag, or umbrella as it were, is scared. And I have a lot of friends that fall under that umbrella. A lot of wonderful, wonderful friends. And they are scared. I have gay friends who are afraid that they're going to have their marriages annulled or just taken from them. I have friends who are afraid that they are going to be sent to some gulag just because their gender doesn't match the gender that they were born with. And that was their choice. Their choice. Now, This administration is doing its damnedest to strip us of those choices. They already stripped women of their choice of how to deal with their bodies. Who knows what's next? And if Musk were to use his AI company to do what I think he could do or would do, oh my gosh, people. We are all going to be in danger. Only the ones who are willing to throw up their hand in a Nazi salute for either Trump or Musk, they're safe. Think about that. Think about that. People peacefully protesting against a president are more in danger than Nazis. Nazis could walk the streets and do walk the streets of this country, and they probably feel perfectly safe right now. They feel like they have been emboldened and can do whatever the hell they want. The Klan, same thing. People whose ideals, whose ideology is to lay waste to anyone that doesn't look like them, think like them, or act like them, or dress like them, are roaming the streets free without a care in the world. And anybody who kind of falls away from what is considered normal, we've got targets on our backs. So what do we do? What do we do about this? Do we just stop? Do we stop voicing our opinions? Do we stop protesting? No, we don't. We can't. Because if we are silenced, they win. And I hate to use that phrase, they win, because this isn't a competition. And if it is a competition, it's more of a battle for human rights. And right now, we, the good people, are on the losing side. We have an amoral majority, amoral minority who are running this country. And they are doing what they want. Again, the question comes back to, what do we do? Well, when Trump first got elected the second time, I told myself, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be uniquely and completely myself in the public eye. Hence the way I dress for these videos and the way I dress every day, pretty much. And even though I have stuck to that, I have been honest about it and honest to people and myself, I'm still afraid. But I'm not going to let that fear rule me. I'm not going to let it wreck me. I'm not going to let it have me cowering in a corner. Because this is America. And America is about freedom. And America has a constitution with amendments to protect us from demagoguery and despotism. And that's truly what we're dealing with. We have a despot in the White House. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck about the consequences of what he's doing. He doesn't give a fuck about how we are affected by it. He only gives a fuck about himself and all of the billionaires that have helped to put him into power. And so, when I come back to that question, what do we do? We just have to keep making our voices heard and make sure that the majority, at the end of the day, the majority is known. Because the majority of people in this country do not fall in line with the Fourth Reich. The majority of people in this country are good people. The majority of people in this country want equal rights. They want gay men and women to be married. They want trans people to be free, to be who they are. They want people like me to be able to express themselves in the truest way they can. They want people like you to be successful and happy and healthy. That's what the majority of people in this country want. It's that minority, that very loud minority, that is doing everything it can to prevent all of that. Because they believe that anyone who doesn't look, think, and act like them is wrong. And they sort of forget about the Constitution. And if you spit in the face of the Constitution and call yourself a patriot, you, my friend, are a hypocrite. And hypocrisy is rampant right now. So, to everyone out there who watches me and sees me looking the way I do, and doesn't run away screaming or shake their fist at the screen, I want to say thank you. Thank you for letting my authentic self into your life. And thank you for letting others like me into your life. Or thank you for not trying to suppress people like me. And what we have to do is band together. It is going to take a very concentrated effort of this whole village to rise above. We need to come together and be a rising tide and lift all of those wonderful boats. And hope that we can rise above what is happening right now. And I'm not telling you to stop voicing your opinion about Trump and his minions. Voicing your opinion about Trump and his minions. Jazz hands. I'm telling you to be safe, but stand firm. Be you. Be you. Be absolutely you. In the face of all of what's happening, we all have to stick to our true selves and hope that the powers that be wake up and do something about this. Because otherwise, at the end of 4 years, we have no idea what this country is going to be. But if we keep going down this path, we may as well be the next USSR. USSA, I guess. I don't know. I'm scared. You're scared. We're all scared. But if we stick together, we can overcome that fear. It's going to get even worse before it gets better. And there is hope. Last night, I watched Cory Booker on Late Night with Colbert. And after hearing Booker talk one of my first thoughts was, he needs to run for president. Because there are people out there. There's Booker, there's AOC, there's Sanders, there's Buttigieg. There are people standing up to this, who have people in power standing up. Even though they have a minority stake in the power, they're standing up and they're speaking out, and they have our backs. We just have to try to get all of the others on both sides of the aisle to understand that the Constitution of the United States is in jeopardy. And if they can finally open their eyes and see that, do something about it, we'll make it. Now, I'm very, very sorry that I felt the need to take this time to scare you. But we need to know that we're all in this together. And every once in a while, it's too much to hide. It's too much to put on a smile and say, hey, I want to talk about art. I want to talk about something that's important to me that I think might be important to you. No, there are times when we just have to do the scary thing. We have to say the scary things. Otherwise, that monster under our bed is not going to go away. Thank you so much for being a part of my world. It means the world to me. World, world, world. I repeated myself. I know you're very busy and time is precious. But hey, let's just be together for this. We'll make it. One way or another, we'll make it. Thank you, and I hope that everyone you know and love, and you, don't forget yourself, have a wonderful, wonderful day.